Hi guys, it's Sam. So I got a request on how to do to-do boxes for your Erin Condren Life Planner in Silhouette, so I'm going to show you how to do that. I already went ahead and I made a couple of them for you just to show you. This is just an empty box that's the size of the morning, day, and night boxes in your Erin Condren Planner, and I just wanted to give it as a guideline, and you could see that it fits nicely. This one's a little bit bigger. It fits nice and snug in there so you can still see your border. And this one's a little bit smaller, so if you have a background, you'll still be able to see that. Um, this is all personal preference. You don't have to have a border. I would still recommend making the box a little bit smaller so you don't overlap the actual lines of the printed lines in your planner. You can make it square, you can make it round, you can make it an oval if you wanted. You can have font, you don't have to have font. It's all personal preference. So I'm going to show you how to make that now. And I'm just going to start a new document. And I'm just going to paste over this reference so you can all see that they'll fit inside it. So to do this, you're going to either click rectangle or rounded rectangle, again, just personal preference, and just draw one. Doesn't matter what size, we're going to fix that. So click on your rectangle and come up here to this box right here. It's called the scale window. And this is something I actually did not know about Silhouette for a while, is that you can manually type in what size you want your boxes. And instead of having to use this little arrow to get it just right. So we're going to uncheck lock aspect, and in case you don't know, all lock aspect does is when you change a number, it changes the other one to the same ratio. That way it would be like using the corner arrow. So it keeps it the same size, it's just changing the scale. So we're going to uncheck that, and the Erin Condren morning, day, and night boxes are 1.5 by 1.9 inches. And if you don't know the dimensions, I actually put a link to all of the dimensions for the entire planner in the description of the video, so go ahead and check that out. So the width of them is 1.5, and I actually want to make it a little bit smaller so you can still see the border. So instead of 1.5, I'm going to make it 1.45. And instead of 1.9 for the height, I'm going to make it 1.85. And go ahead and click apply, and it'll change the size of it. So now let's come up here and I'm going to fill it in. And you don't have to fill it in. Sticker paper is white, so it'll print white, but for the purpose of actually making them, it's a little bit easier on a white background than a grid background. Or you can turn off your grid settings. I like mine, so I keep them on and just fill it in. So then you can come up and change the line color. If you don't want a border, just make it white, or you can make it transparent so you can't see anything at all. But I think for mine, I'm just going to have a purple border. I like purple. So I just next went to the line style window, and I'm just going to bump up the thickness so you can really see that purple line. This is where you can also change if you want a straight line or if you want a dotted line. I'm just going to keep mine a solid line for now though. So next you're going to come over to the text window, and this part is optional. You don't have to have to do, you can make it say something else if you wanted. You don't have to have text at all, but I like text in mine, so I'm just going to pick a font, and I'm just going to pick a little sunshine. And this is actually a free font I got off dafont.com, and if you haven't been to that website, their fonts are free and they're great, so I would strongly suggest checking it out, and it's really easy to install fonts on your computer. So I'm just going to type to do. And next we are going to give it some color. So I'm going to come and I'm just going to keep a purple theme for this one. I'm going to fill it in with light purple, and for the line color I'm just going to give it a darker purple. I'm also going to thicken up this line again so you can really see it. And obviously this is not going to fit in this window, so just grab the edge and we're just going to shrink it down. Whatever size you want, it's personal preference on this. So don't worry about getting it perfectly centered in the square. You can actually highlight both of these and come up to this align window up here and just hit align center, and it'll center the text in the square for you. And because when I tried to make this video a few times before, I kept accidentally moving things around, I'm just going to go ahead and group it, and that button's down here in the bottom left. Or you can right click it and go to group. So now I don't have to worry about moving the font around. So next we're going to make the boxes, the check boxes, and the lines to write on. So come up here to draw a rectangle, and you're going to make a square. And to do that, you want to hold down shift. Holding down shift while making any shape in Silhouette will actually make it perfect. So if you want a circle, hold down shift and you'll get a perfect circle. With a rectangle, you get a perfect square. And that's a little big for a checkbox in here, so I'm just going to shrink it down a little. It's your own preference though, whatever size you want. Well, I guess I'm moving that to the square. So click on your square and we're going to come up and we're going to change the line color now because it's easier to do that when you have one and you can duplicate it after than to change them all after. So I'm just going to give it a dark purple, sticking with my color theme, and make the line a little bit thicker so you can see it. So now you're going to come up to the replicate window and let's see, how many you think will fit in here? 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll just do 7. So we have a column of 4. There, now we have 7 little boxes. And you don't need to move these right now. You're just going to select the bottom one and you're going to line it up on the bottom where you want your last box. And don't worry about it not being centered with these boxes. I can show you how to fix that right now. So go ahead and highlight these boxes, and I know the big one is highlighted. So after you did that, hold down Shift and click the big box, and it will undo that. So you're only highlighting the little check boxes. And I'm going to come back up to my align window and just hit align center again, and that'll make them all in line. And I'm going to tell you why we're only doing one in a second, but for now, let's make the actual lines that you write on. So I'm just going to draw a line. And I'm going to come up and I'm just going to do black for the line. And I'm going to make it a little bit thicker so you can see it. And now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 boxes again. So come back up to duplicate and you're going to make 7 lines. And I know you can't see that right now, but while you have it selected, see there's more than one there. And just drag one down to the bottom. And you want to highlight just the bottom part right here, and then hold Shift and unselect the big box. And you're going to come back up to your align window. And this time you want to align to the bottom. This is going to make sure that line is perfectly lined up with the bottom of your check mark box. And I also want to do that for the top one as well. And it looks like I got one of these boxes. Oops. If I could actually click it. This is the hardest part about this program, is being able to click boxes. There. So I also want to align this to bottom. And now what we're going to do is, again, select all these boxes, uncheck or unselect the big one, and this time we're going to hit space vertically, and that's just going to make it so they all are evenly spaced between this top one and this bottom one. And I'm going to do the same thing for the lines, and that's going to make it so they're all aligned with the bottom of each one. And I'm just going to group that again. And there you have a to-do box. And as you can see, it nicely fits inside your Erin Condren Life Planner's morning, day, and night boxes. So I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. Again, this is all personal preference. Don't be afraid to play around with the settings and make it different shapes and colors, and even using different shapes for the check mark boxes. You know, it's whatever you want to do. So thank you for watching, and if you liked it, please subscribe. There will be more tutorial videos in the future. Thanks!